Welcome, everybody, to the Calling All Platforms Tech Podcast. I'm going to be your host this evening, morning, or night, or whenever you're listening to this. And this is our episode 30, which we are very excited for. And I am here with the Spin Love.
Hello.
As well as Landon Something.
Yeah.
And we are here to talk about tech and what's going on this week. Guys, there's a lot going on. I mean, we just had Build, 2 weeks ago, and then we had I.O. with all that.
Yeah.
What could possibly be coming next?
WWDC
Hey!
2 weeks.
And not only
In
that.
2 weeks, 1 week.
That's right.
1
That's
week.
1 week.
Next Monday is
Gosh.
when the keynote is.
All right.
Oh, we got so much going on. And and also on top of that, E3.
Yes. The
that's
week after
in 2
that.
weeks.
So that
Good times.
means everybody, there's going to be a lot of tech news.
Yes.
A lot.
This is kind of our lull right here this week.
This week. And yet there's still a
And yet
decent
there's
amount of
still,
stuff
yeah.
that happened this week.
No, this is the season for lots of
Mostly
new things.
today, actually.
Yeah, it kind of was.
quite a bit. It was today, but last week I had quite a
Especially
few.
for Android. That's
Yeah.
But we're excited. We're very excited, and we hope that we can get all this technology and try and share it with you and share our own opinions. Because, man, if you've been listening to us, we have quite a bit of those. Especially this guy to the right of me.
drowning in opinions over here.
And tangents, and man, we got tangents. If you like those.
We did get rid of most of our tangents before we started recording.
We try to. It
We've
takes us
started doing that.
about an hour per pre. But
Yeah.
we should start recording those just so people can listen as bonus
We really
episodes.
should. That would be funny.
Oh, it's great.
To the Tangent Podcast.
Oh, man. Well, let's get started. Why don't we start with some Microsoft today? I'm going to go ahead and start with that. So I wanted to start and actually kind of bring this up. This is more of kind of a rumor, but I actually pulled this off of another website from Paul Thurrott, and it sounds really awesome because Microsoft's looking to reboot mobile with new software and hardware.
Interesting.
I thought so as well. Now, the one I was kind of going through this just to see what they were talking about, but it says that internally Microsoft has been testing this software and hardware, and it's coming from two independent sources from inside Microsoft that had told Paul Thurrott this, that it's being tested internally and that there is also a separate branch of Windows Mobile for this device. So it didn't give too many big things other than there may be new experiences with the device. Additionally, the UI is expected to be different than what we know today. So they're testing it internally, and this could be, another way that they could hit the mobile market. So I was
That's good.
pretty excited about that. So, and it actually came from, people inside Microsoft that they're like, yeah, we're trying this out, seeing.
And Paul Thurrott is a very good source to go off of because he's got a lot of friends at Microsoft.
And enemies, but really friends.
Well, frenemies.
Frenemies. No, but
Well,
yeah.
I hear this, and I think, is it going to be a phone, or is it just because everything I've heard is not necessarily they always say they're still focused on mobile, but they never specify phone.
Right.
Ooh. Is it an augmented reality device with a cell modem?
Oh, please no.
Oh my gosh.
So Blade Runner. Come on. Would be perfect.
I like your analogy there. That was pretty good. No, I'm thinking it's more and this is me thinking. I think it's more with the ARM processor, more of that.
Right, yeah.
To where they're pushing that mobile and just be able to do anything. So basically having the Windows 10 mobile won't be the actual Windows 10 mobile operating system. It just means, hey, you got Windows 10 and it's mobile. I think more.
That would make more. I mean, that's kind of been the push on what they're doing, anyways, and that's kind of what I've thought.
Yeah.
Also,
that's what I think. But that was just something I thought was cool. Usually, I don't like to talk about rumors, but I was like, well, that's coming from two people inside.
it's
so
kind of a big one.
I want to mention that because I'm still on the Windows ecosystem on that, so it's
You know-
exciting for me.
You could switch and be perfectly fine, from what I understand, because, and this is to either Android or iOS, because like the guys at Windows Central, they did you probably know they
Yeah.
tested this. They had an iPhone for a couple weeks, and then they switched to an Android for a couple weeks, and both were good experiences, he said.
And they also put the Windows 10 operating system on them both, and said that the Apple one ran it better.
They did? I didn't hear that. They just
Yep.
put all the apps on there.
That's
Yeah. That's what they did. They actually put the operating system on there and said Android really sucked. But Apple's version, when they put it on there, it actually worked very well.
Interesting.
So like they just hacked the OS so that it
Yeah.
would run on the hardware?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, so it depends on which Android phone they
Yeah.
were
Oh,
using,
that's true.
too.
Well, I can't remember which one it was, but
I mean, if it was pretty much anything other than like
a Pixel
the
or
Pixel
yeah.
or the latest Samsung or maybe the latest LG
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
then it's not really going to compete with iPhones.
I will be honest. It has tempted me to move over, but to where I don't really have a lot of app usage anyway. Like, I know that sounds weird. Everyone has a smartphone, everyone has apps, but I don't. I don't know. I guess
The apps
either
you need are available.
yeah,
for
they're
you.
available.
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny that my bank, they have an app on the Windows Store, but I actually still prefer the website.
I totally get that.
You get it. I just prefer, and also, with my password saver, obviously LastPass can be on Edge
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm like, I'll just use that. So, I guess I've just been so used to doing that sometimes I'm like, I'd rather just go to the mobile website than so.
Yep.
But
Which is a fair point.
but I have been tempted to be like, just to try it and see. But then, for me, you get me on an Android phone, and I just feel so dumb. Like, I really do. Something like, I understand what I need it to do, but it's hard for me to be like, I want maybe an assistant would be good. Hey, do this for me, Cortana, help me. But no, I have been tempted, but I'm kind of holding out. I want to see, obviously this next iteration and see if this is, am I gonna stay on with Windows or am I gonna jump ship?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So I am kind of holding out because, like I said, I've got everything I need. I mean, I've seen a couple phones that they've released that have better processors. Obviously, like the 950 XL, I've looked at that. The only difference between what I have now, I've got the 950, and the difference of the XL is a bigger screen. The cameras are the same, but it's, bigger screen, and the other one has wireless charging. This one doesn't.
Which is overrated in most cases.
Yeah. And it
Unless
does.
you have a Samsung, wireless charging is really not that awesome.
And I think this one's I'm trying to think, it's like the 810 Qualcomm, and the other one's 820, but I mean, is it really worth spending $500 to get? If I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not
That's always
doing
a
anything.
question.
So
As long
I'm just
as it
kind of
does
waiting.
what you need, it's not that big of a deal.
And it has. This has been great. It does everything I need to do. I mean,
I would not recommend going and playing with an XL because then you'd want it.
that is true. I have messed with it, but it's the same. I personally, if I were to really do mess with it and go back and forth, I think I'd probably figure out there's a difference. But I don't think there's much.
Yeah, no,
Not much. I mean, I'm not using Continuum. I mean, it sounds cool, like a cool thing, but I've got a desktop at home. I've got a Surface Pro. So for me to get a dock is just, it's not a waste of money, but really, I don't need it.
it's not a useful way to spend your money.
So, and that's I think where the XL is kind of the flagship. It has the better processor, better things. So it's like, oh, Continuum's better on this, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
And everything's integrated anyway, so it's like, whatevs. So that's what I'm waiting on. But I was excited to read that and see that because I'm with the iterations of now with Satya Nadella pushing for this and a smarter Microsoft that we're seeing. This could be cool. This could be the Surface phone, if you will, quote unquote, that is coming out. And I'm excited to see what comes down the line. And so I'm kind of waiting to see that. And if that makes me stay, awesome. If not, jump ship. I know that I'll be happy with Android. Although I don't know about Apple. I remember one time trying to help somebody with a Mac when I was working at Best Buy. And I was just, over there. I was like, they're like, hey, can you help me with this? I'm like, I really can't.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I will try, but I really can't. That was back when it was a long time ago when most of it was PC and Mac had two computers over there. And someone's like, well, tell me about this. I'm like,
It's
well,
white.
this has, it's white. Oh, there's the on button. Look, it's cool. It takes good pictures. There's a billion pictures of us employees on here. Yeah, that was it. So
that was one of the selling features of those MacBooks back in the day. Was the iSight camera was actually pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they haven't done a whole lot with that camera.
It has not been updated at all.
But yeah, so that's. that's where I'm at on that. But I'm excited to see. I just hope this. I don't expect it to be like, haha, 25% of the whatever. I don't expect people to switch, but I hope this brings out more competition.
Yeah.
I really do.
Competition's always good.
Yeah, so that's what I had on that. I wanted to speak with that first, and then, of course, Microsoft renames Beam to Mixer and adds new features.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this because, we all know what Beam is, right? Right? We've all used it.
Nope.
Actually, no, I'm the only one that's used it.
Well, no, hang on. I signed into the website one time and tried to watch some streamers, and there were like none.
There were like none.
That's not true. The selection of games that were being streamed at the moment was pretty limited, and it was kind of funny to like scroll through it as someone who's more familiar with Twitch and scroll through it and look at the number of people participating in each of the streams, like the viewers, and it's all like, this guy is at the top for this particular game. He's got 25 viewers. The person at the top of any game on Twitch,
got 25
even
views
the
right
least
now.
popular games will have like a couple hundred, and then
Yep.
the most popular streamers literally have tens of thousands of viewers at any time, like any given moment.
True.
And it was kind of weird. It felt like it was kind of like a cross between like being in like kind of a really close-knit like arts and crafts studio kind of thing where you go and people are like there and they're willing to talk to you and help you out and they've got time. And so it was a mix between that and a ghost town. That's kind of how it felt. It was weird.
I see that. I do. I remember when Microsoft did buy it, I did log in just to claim my name that I wanted on there. And then I'd pop in every once in a while just to see how it was doing. And as I saw it grow, but when I really have seen it take off is when it was integrated for Xbox.
Right.
And so when I've come back to look at it, like there's actually a lot more and more things. Like they have like streaming teams. So like for example, like they'll give prizes and things obviously, but it's like if we all decided to do a calling all platform stream team, we could do that. And so we would, each of us streaming or watching others or hosting people, just basically giving it interaction, gives you points, gives you things so you can spend those points on other things. And
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure that, because I was looking at this, like, shortly after Microsoft bought Beam was when I logged in and was all like, wow, this is kind of empty. And I'm sure that, it's probably much larger now. But it was a really interesting. I mean, the nice thing was you could be on any stream, and, like, as soon as you signed into that stream, like, it started watching, the person streaming was just like, oh, hey, so-and-so, thanks for joining. And
because you're the only one.
Yeah, right. There's, like, 5 other people in the chat right there, and you're all like, hi.
That's weird. No, it's cool. It's the latency and everything. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's instant.
Yeah.
It was great. And so I always thought it was cool. And I saw the potential. And so I just kind of waited. And so now that they've integrated it more, they've pushed it into Windows 10 and integrated it into the Xbox and things. And I do see a lot more traffic than there was. And it just keeps improving. And I hope it does. I hope it keeps pushing forward. And I know Microsoft said this, that now with Mixer that you will be able to watch their entire E3 in 4K on Mixer.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be good.
So I thought that was cool.
That'll be good if they can get people hooked onto the interface. Because I think Twitch is in desperate need of some competition in the streaming market. Like, just, please, anyone, please compete.
And I hope it does. That's another thing, too, I was hoping Mixer will do. And it seems pretty nice because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, the last time that I heard that you could stream, well, one of the features, let's talk about that before I say that. One of the features that has come that they're really pushing for this new this Mixer is you can actually use your mobile phone to stream to your to broadcast to your account. And I don't know, can you do that with Twitch? I haven't seen that. Other than having
I
like
don't think so.
Yeah.
Like you can watch streams with Twitch, but I don't think you can broadcast from their Twitch app. I don't think so. If there's some way to do it, then it probably requires you to pay in order to access it.
I think there might be possible. Like some third-party thing, but because I know with Twitch, because I did streaming with Twitch before a while ago, and I thought, just messing with it. I remember I had to have a third party to go through the third party like XSplit, and then that would broadcast to it.
Yeah.
But now with within it with I was going to say Beam, but Mixer integrated with Windows 10. It's just you can just hit the button, it goes right to your channel.
Yeah,
so
that's
nice.
That's one of the things you've always needed with Twitch is some kind of actual broadcast software.
Yeah.
Like Twitch does not develop broadcast software.
Nope.
They develop an API and then servers and stuff like that to handle the distribution of the stream, but you actually have to have some software that can capture the stream and send it to Twitch. And Windows has that built in now. Microsoft has built that in, and then they've got it hooked up to Mixer, and that's going to simplify things a lot. And I think that's going to make the entry for streaming a lot simpler and probably bring a lot more people on board. Like, I'm actually interested in maybe just turning it on one of these days and seeing, like, what's this like?
It's interesting. I like it. One thing is, excuse me, apologize. One thing I thought was really cool that I saw is when you level up. So when you watch a stream, you get points, and when you get a certain amount of points, you level up your account. Well, I had noticed that when you are a level 10, you actually can now get the Beam. I was going to say Beam Pro, but Mixer Pro for free. That's basically like Twitch. When you go Twitch Pro, you have to pay like I think it's like $7.99. Well, with Mixer, they did switch to that. So now you got the free version, obviously, and then you also have the stream. But when you get to level 10, you either are, the way to get points is either watch somebody or stream yourself.
Right.
When you get to level 10, you can use those points to buy a month of that pro subscription that I saw. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and see if it's
worth
it.
Now, I don't know if this is going to continue on, but I think this is just to boost numbers.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, you were level 10 before. Here you go. And so that's something they sold me, because I think I'm only like level 22 or something, because I've streamed here and there. I've messed with it back and forth. And so it's pretty cool. It gives you that more integration. You can set up how you want your channel to be messed with, if you want it to be something they can mess with. So like the stream to be like, one time I was on there playing something with somebody, or I was watching somebody play something, and then I had like 1,000 points, and I was like, okay, what's the most incredible and 1,000-point one? So I hit the 1,000-point one, and it was what's the flying cat rainbow thing?
Nyan
cat.
Yeah.
But it was him. The cat popped up, and the Pop-Tart started flying on the stream, and it said something about candy unicorns and rainbows, and it was just a mess with the stream. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. So you can have it set up with that. And I know with some games like Minecraft, you can set it up to actually augment the game.
Right.
And we've talked about that before.
Yep.
And right now, one cool thing that what Tall Tales is doing, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, is they're doing let me see what it's called, actually. I have it right here. Oh, live stream. I apologize. I should have had this up.
Jeez, Wes.
I'm sorry. Crowd play. That's what it is. It says Telltale Games has created a crowd play feature for games like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and The Walking Dead, so the audiences can help make decisions.
Right. So that you can basically just run a poll right there in the game.
So, have a democracy, and so democracy wins. It's like, oh, we voted for that. Let's make that happen.
Which would actually be a really fun way to play games like a Telltale game, which is like very little based on actual action or gameplay, but it's all about the story and the decisions that you make and how they influence the story. And that would be really funny. Twitch has kind of done stuff like that in the past.
I've seen it, and it looks horrible. Maybe I've just seen streams that were just bad.
Well, what they've done in the past that I've seen is they have it set up so that the game is actually being played by the community. And so you can put stuff into the chat that will influence the way the game is played. And they did that with like a procedurally generated Pokemon match or something like that. And it ended up with it ended up stuck in some kind of recursive loop because the community kept telling it to do these two opposite things, and there was enough people on both sides that it just kept bouncing back and forth, and it was, anyways.
Yep.
It's kind of goofy.
Kind of going along those lines, I was just thinking YouTube added something similar to those. Obviously, this isn't with gaming, but with YouTube Live, you can now pay. This is obviously another way for creators and YouTube filmers to kind of help monetize in a different way, but people watching can pay and get their comment note like up at the top basically, or bigger comment so it's more noticed. Or if you're the one doing the stream, you can have more viewer participation. Be like, hey, if you want me to do this, we got to reach this goal or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's kind of the same thing. And that's something I didn't talk about, that they did it. They announced at Google I/O, and they actually did a live stream during I/O with the slow-mo guys.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. They were like, if we get up to this amount of money, well, they threw they had 50 people throwing water balloons at him or something like that.
That's cool. Yeah, they're bringing that interaction is what they're trying to do, and I think with the Tall Tales and I know it's slowly making it happen. They're just trying to get the data, trying to get it get the kinks worked out, so they could have other games do this. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really cool. There's such potential here for Mixer, for those features that we have been talking about, and I could see if people hop onto this, it'll be really good competition for Twitch.
Yeah, yep.
And Facebook Live and all the other stuff that they're doing.
Which is fantastic.
So I think it's cool. So, and they also, another feature they have on there is also co-streaming, which now up to 4 gamers can combine their streams into a single experience, which I thought was really cool.
That is kind of cool.
What's also cool is so there's also podcasters out there that like to do stream to Twitch or something, but you can actually say, so one of us had to, for example, if I had to not, for some reason I couldn't be here physically, like to record here, we could hook up a way to where I could actually be on Beam, and we could record it that
and just
way,
combine the
streams that way.
Combine the streams.
Combine the streams. I know, right?
That sounds terrifying.
The Ghostbusters, right there.
Careful. Don't cross the streams.
Notice there's only 4. Anyway, no, I actually did see a picture of that. Like when someone's article I was reading, it says, Microsoft has done it. They crossed the streams, and it shows the Ghostbusters there.
That's amazing.
I thought it was cool. But it's pretty cool. You can do that. You can also have the Simo. I saw these guys that were on stream, and they were like, hey, we're going to do a stream-to-stream high five. So they had one guy on his stream on one side on the corner, and then another guy on the other side of the corner next to it, and they just went like this with their high fives. So they just went to the side, so it looked like they were giving each other high fives. Pretty fun, pretty interactive, and it seems really fun. And it's really easy. If you're on the Xbox, I mean, they made a tab to where you just hit start streaming, and it instantly goes. They'll automatically sign you up with your Microsoft account if you don't have a Beam account, and you have an Xbox account, and you just hit stream. The first time set up, they're like, oh, we'll just create one for you. There you go. And then there you go. Make it happen. Nice. It's pretty simple. I've really enjoyed what they have. Like I said, this has got a lot of potential, but it does need people to mess with it, to use it, to give Microsoft the data. Even with these Tall Tale things, the games, that's all they need is data, obviously. So it's really cool. Also, let's talk about this. You guys had actually downloaded the beta versions for Android and iOS.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
Because I heard about this last night, as we were talking about before, but there on Android and iOS, there's a Mixer app and a Mixer Create app. And the Mixer app, as we've found, is for viewing these streams. The Mixer Create is for creating streams.
Yes.
Now, I still find it odd that there's not just one app that does both, because that would make the most sense.
Well, but
mind you, these are in beta.
They're just trying to reduce UI clutter, and I can get why they'd want to split it out.
The other interesting thing that we noticed is, and this I realize this could be potentially because I'm on the Android O preview, and I'm not on a stable version, because I've heard other people have both apps, but I've only got the Mixer Create app. But the one thing that makes me think it's not just because I'm on Android O is because Caleb only has the Mixer app.
On iOS, it's just the Mixer app. I don't have the Create app.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
It's pretty funny.
It is weird. So I can create a stream and Caleb can watch it.
Yep.
True.
But not the other way around.
But no.
Thought it was pretty
At least
funny.
not mobile-wise.
Right, yes.
But and also, I decided, I was like, hey, I wonder if there's a PC app. So I went to the Mixer, on Microsoft's site, and I said, it says download either PC app, Android app, or iOS app. And I was like, I'll click the PC. So I clicked it, and it just took me to the Mixer website. So technically, they don't have one yet.
There's not. But you can make a shortcut to the website on your desktop, right?
That's true.
That's the thing.
Now, just so everybody knows, with Mixer is actually built into Windows 10. So if you use it on a PC and you're familiar with the new Creators Update that's happened, they have integrated Mixer into Windows 10. And if you want to stream to it, You just go to your settings and then go to gaming, and then you'll see the sidebar for the tab for the stream, and it'll show you how to stream to it.
Yep.
So you don't have to download XSplit or any other kind of streaming service. It's all right there for you.
Yeah, but that's just broadcasting. You can't view.
True.
They did. You
have to go to the website.
You have to go to the website.
This is true. You have to go to the website.
Which is kind of funny.
I'm assuming since this is kind of a new thing and they're switching things around, I'm betting it's going to get better and easier. They probably will eventually have one app on mobile.
Yes, I'm hoping
but
so.
Like we talked about, they're in beta right now. They're figuring things out. They probably don't want to crash the servers with one app. So they give us two
True.
that can balance things out a little bit.
And here's the thing: out of the takeaway of this, it's in beta. You're an Android user, you're an iOS user. Download it, mess with it, use it, get the data, so it becomes better. Not because you want that to be better, but because we want Twitch to be better. Because if honestly, this is competition for it. And we were talking like Twitch hasn't had competition, so they need competition because they're not getting any better.
And if you've ever used any of their mobile apps, you know that because they are such a pile. Anyways,
it is, and if that's the thing, if you want better as us as a consumer, use it, mess with it, tinker around, and that's going to give the data that Microsoft needs to help push this product forward, to give that competition, to make it better. I mean, why not, right? So that's on there. I wanted to talk about. Anyone else? Any more comments on Mixer?
I did want to mention, like I downloaded it on my phone. I set it up and everything. It's kind of like you looked at. It's a weird app. At least the Create app on my phone.
It's pretty simple compared to the actual website. Like if you were to go to the website, I don't know if you have. It seems like they've only put 2 or 3 items from the website into the app.
Yeah. I mean, as like I say weird, it's not like janky or anything. It's actually really easy to use. I mean, there's a button right at the bottom to start streaming. There's a couple buttons right at the top. One is for chat with like people that are viewing your stream, and there's one for support. And like the settings menu is pretty easy. It's basically just setting your microphone default if you want to do it while you're on cellular or not. Different things like that. It's really easy to use.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a lot going on with it. And like I said, I can't watch any right now because the Mixer app is not available.
You can just use your browser.
Yeah, at least this was probably 12 hours ago when I downloaded it. But.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's in the beta, and they're just trying to collect the data.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I thought was really cool is how easy it is to just push a button and stream. Because I think that's really cool.
Easy, yeah.
As well as on Windows 10. I think that's what they're trying to overcome over Twitch, because I do remember trying to set up XSplit on my computer and my PC, and then I had to set up a couple other things, and then finally I was able to broadcast to Twitch, but then I had to sign up so I could get high-quality broadcasting, and I had to do other stuff. So, but this just gives it to you. It's like, oh, here you go. Click. Here you go.
Yeah.
And then it actually has an option to, if you want to save your videos or if you want high stream or not. Even on the Xbox, I saw that. It's like, do you want these to be high streaming or not? And that's honestly for internet service providers. So if you don't have a high upload speed, then you don't obviously want to try and upload a high res stream, because your audience isn't going to like that, because buffering, waiting. But so I'm excited. It seems pretty cool to. It's just the instant streaming. You don't have to have the third party. You can make it happen, and I hope this goes further. I really do.
I do too.
And so,
I like the way it's going so far.
Yeah, it seems really cool, and I think, like I said, I think it'll be cool. Now all we just need is, a Groove Music Pass, and I'll be happy.
Yeah,
family Music Pass is what I meant. But anyway,
either way,
here or there. But it's great. Oh, I should mention also, it as I mentioned before, it does have the free version now, as well as you pay. They have a pro version, which the difference is obviously is when you go to a stream, you'll have commercials when you're on the free, because that's how they're going to get paid. They're going to get that. Obviously, you get that with anything. But if you want to go pro, that's called the Mixer.pro or whatever. And I believe it was a $7.99 subscription there you go. Try it out. I believe they got a free 30-day trial, as well as if you have. Oh, there it is. Just now.
Okay. So when I was looking for these apps, I didn't just search Mixer because that's going to bring up all sorts of random crap I don't care about
True.
in Google Play. So I just searched Microsoft, and I went to just some random app, and then I clicked on all apps by Microsoft, and that's where I found the Mixer Create app.
Gotcha.
This time I actually typed in Microsoft Mixer, and now the regular Mixer app is there.
Oh, nice.
And I'm installing it as we speak.
Sweet.
So, there it is there. Both apps are there. So
that's cool. That's cool. That's really exciting. Cool. But yeah, go ahead and download it, try it out, mess with it, see streams, interact with people. I mean, to earn points, it's free. To interact with people's streams, it's free. So might as well tinker and mess. So have fun with it. Anyway, do you have anything to say, Caleb?
Well, I just want to point out that if anyone is wondering that sequence of events that Landon just described doesn't work for iOS, the broadcasting app just isn't there. The app publisher for it is actually Beam Interactive, is still listed as the app publisher for Mixer right now for the Mixer viewing app. And
interesting.
It's like they only have the one app, and it's just Mixer right now. And I'm looking at Microsoft's list of apps, and I'm not seeing it. So, yeah. They really don't have it on iOS right now for whatever reason. It might just be that it got stuck in the app review process.
Yeah, probably taking longer.
Which usually happens.
It's going to be coming.
Apple takes forever with their app review process. But
so exciting news. I think it's going to be cool. Landon thinks it's cool. He's all right with it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on board.
I'm on board.
Let's do it.
So once it comes out more fully, I'm sure we'll be messing with it, tinkering with Beam, and who knows, maybe we'll record a podcast or something on it. I'm hoping, but we'll see what these two say. Just to mess with. All right, the next thing, let's talk about Netflix for video games. What? Just kidding. No, Xbox has released.
Netflix used to have video games.
Way back in the
Do we
day.
remember this? Back when it was still like DVDs in the mail, and you could get
you actually
games
still
in
can
the
get DVDs in the mail.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still can. There's a subscription for it.
Yep.
That's odd. Okay,
there
anyway.
are people that still do it.
Anyway, so Microsoft has released their Microsoft's Game Pass service.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the Game Pass service? It is a subscription that you can have to you can pay, which is $9.99, and you can get in their collection of Game Pass games, which is Xbox One games as well as Xbox 360 games that you have access to. So, does that actually mean it's live streaming? No, it does not. It is not like just click it and play. It is not.
Okay, so you do have to still download it.
Yes.
Install.
You still need to download it and install, which
makes sense.
I don't know. I'd almost just prefer that. I wouldn't want to stream because.
Well, at the same time, I'm not going to be able to play Xbox games on my PC.
True, but here's the thing. If you're trying to play like, oh, I just got Overwatch on here, I want to stream that, but then now I gotta upload to the server while streaming the game. Like, wouldn't your latency like increase by triple?
Yeah, probably.
So you wouldn't be able to play the games very well.
Yeah, that's why it makes sense that they have you download it, because the gameplay is going to be a whole lot better.
Thank you.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really want to play Halo 5, and I'm not buying an Xbox, so
nobody likes you anyway.
Yeah, you know how big Halo 5 is? I found out it's 100 gigs.
Holy crap.
Actually, hold on. I think it's on here. Hold
Wow.
on, let me find it. I think I actually had this written down. I wrote it down.
They
and I
really want you to buy that big
like,
Xbox One
Yeah,
S.
seriously, that's
All right,
a
ready?
fifth of the storage in a standard Xbox. That's
So, just to compare games, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is 44 gigs.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
That's the brand new one. Okay,
Yeah.
Halo 5 Guardians is 97.5 gigs.
what is it all? Like, what could that even possibly be? Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I still haven't played it yet. I'm getting there. I'm going through the Master Chief
This
collection.
better be in 4K and VR and 3D and IMAX for that.
So, you may need to be buying an extra hard. That's one thing I would recommend. If you do get this pass, buy an extra hard drive, an external hard drive.
And didn't they make it with the 1 and 1S, the 1 and 1S easier to have external storage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just plug it right in, and it's like, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to the Music Pass on there. So it is $9.99 a month, and it provides right now it's over like 100 titles. That's both Xbox 360 titles as well as the Xbox One.
Here's a question.
Yes.
Can you play the 360 games on the Xbox One?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Now what about, I'm assuming not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Okay.
No. So any Xbox 360 game that is in this is backwards compatible on your Xbox One, One S, and I'm going to assume in Scorpio.
That would make sense.
Would make sense. So,
wouldn't it be funny if it wasn't? Just like
Scorpio only plays Scorpio games.
Just be like,
and give us $1,000 for it.
I'm sure that'd be Overwatch.
Just be
Overwatch in 4K, only on this. Okay, take my money.
Fine.
I don't know though. It looks really good at less than 1080. Like I don't know why 4K. Anyway,
you know, as soon as you see it, you'll be like, I want.
Well, no.
Or 6 monitors.
I will
that you
never
have.
see it. That's how.
That's true.
I will filter it.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, so to answer your question, yes, all the Xbox 360 games are backwards compatible. I did start the trial on there that anyone that has gold, so it's going to start on June 1st. Anyone that has a trial gets to be able to start a free trial that is gold, can start that 2 weeks before. So I actually went ahead and did it. And I had another subscription that I didn't use for another place, and I'm not ashamed to say it, but I did watch WWE. I had the subscription. Yes. Anyway, I didn't watch it very much anymore, and I still was paying for it, and that was $10 a month, so I was like, oh, I'll just shut that off and just
switch over to this
just to mess with. Looked at the catalog on there, and there's actually a lot of pretty cool games.
Nice.
Games that I'd like to. Like Lego Batman. Okay, I guess I'll play it. But yeah, Halo, mostly you're going to see, as of right now, you're going to see more of the Microsoft games first, and I believe some 2K games. I know the 2K and NBA is on there.
Oh right, yeah.
With a couple others, you're probably not going to see.
Just to be clear, 2K, NBA, and stuff like that is EA, not 2K at the game publisher, right?
No, it isn't. I don't. Is it? I don't think it's EA.
I think it's EA.
Yeah. Because
the
2K is just 2000,
yeah,
whatever year.
2017.
Oh, I
so
didn't.
like
I didn't know. Okay, you got me there. I don't play a lot of sports games.
Yeah, me either.
So
me either.
I apologize.
That's the one thing I am kind of clear on, because I've sold sports games that I get like through Humble Bundles and stuff like that. Because I will never ever play them, and I'm all like, "Hey, friend, give me $1 and I'll gift you this game from the Humble Bundle." Anyways.
Well, anyway, even as someone that has a lot of games. I do have Halo 5, which is on there. I do have a couple of the games already that are on there. But this, I think, is a great opportunity for you to play games that are, newer, like I said, like the Halo 5 and things like that. But if you don't want to go out and buy them, but you can test these out. But you got a bunch of different games that you can test out.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. So that's why I was like, I'm going to try this out, see if I like it. And I see it would be good. But I do know that with these games, you're going to be selective, because if you have a internet service provider that has data caps, you have games that are 100 gigs.
That's a third of most people's data cap. Like if you have data caps, it tends to be around 300 gigs, and downloading a 100 gig game, that's a third of your data.
Yeah, so
holy crap.
But always have their extra hard drive, because I know Xbox Ones, some of them are only 500 gigs.
Yeah.
But if you have a terabyte, I mean, still you can fill that up quick. 2 terabytes still, but you can hook up like a 4 terabyte and you'll be good.
I'm thinking the only other game that I'm aware of that even comes close to that is the new Hitman, the 2016 Hitman.
Oh yeah,
that was released in like 7 different episodes or whatever, and each of those episodes was like a fully like super detailed, highly rendered, incredibly complicated level, and every single one of those things was like 20 gigs or something like that. Or no, like 12 or... Anyways, the whole game as a whole is like 78 gigs or something like that. And I remember I got it with my graphics card. Like, they gave me the game free. And I was like, cool. Oh, cool. So I redeemed it on Steam. And then I looked at the download size and I was like, heck no.
Well,
I'm going to have to plan around installing this game. Like, that's just insane.
Oh. Anyways, but something on that, I wanted to compare it to PlayStation's similar PlayStation Now. It's nothing. It's not to compete, but just so people can have the understanding of it. I wanted to go to the other side. I know PlayStation Now is actually $20 a month, and is basically it is twice as expensive, but it also provides more games. It's 4 times as many games in the library, but as of right now, it does not play the PlayStation 4. I think it's PlayStation 3 and behind.
But
they did announce later that they will try and get.
They announced that they were going to be porting or adding PlayStation 4 games, and I think they actually did add a few, but we're talking like 4 or 5 games for the PlayStation 4. Most of it is the 3, and they might even have some from the 2 on there. The nice thing about that service is if you're a PC gamer, that's the only one that really applies to you, because you can stream those to a PC.
Yep, you can.
And
that was another thing I was going to say. On there, you can stream it to the PC, and if I'm not mistaken, you can actually, they call it live. You can just hit play the game. So that's the streaming. I think that they allow on certain ones, I believe. So, but the Xbox Pass isn't, but this gives you that opportunity to just, here, I just want to stream the friggin' game.
Yep. Which actually, I believe, means you can like just play the game on a Sony Bravia Smart TV. I think, which that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. So that's just that equivalent, I guess, because Sony, I think they had this first, and then when Xbox Game Pass was announced, then they were like, well, I guess we're going to throw in PlayStation 4 now.
Right, yeah.
Obviously.
Got to get that in there.
Get that in.
Here's my question. If you can do that on a Sony TV, could I do that on my Sony Blu-ray player?
Possible.
Probably a newer Blu-ray, I would assume.
Yeah, depending on
I
how
guess
new
that's
it is.
true. Mine's not. It's probably about 5 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be newer than that, but either that's probably too old.
In fact, I bet they probably wouldn't do that because I think that would just take away from the PlayStation.
And that's probably why they haven't really put any PlayStation 4 games onto the service.
Yeah.
They want you to buy a PS4 Pro.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But I've honestly looked at that and frankly, Journey is one of the games that you can stream from the PlayStation 3, and I've looked at that and gone, that's worth $20 to me just to stream that one game. So if it was it's just like, here's our Journey streaming service, it's $20 a month. I'm like, okay,
here you go. This is for you.
I mean, I'd pay it once and then play the game once and then probably not renew it for the second month, but
gotcha. Yeah,
it's appealing.
Yeah, it is. So that's something I'm going to be tinkering with, seeing if it's going to be worth it. I mean, I think it will if they have the right games. Now, granted, with this, I'm not sure how the deal behind the scenes, obviously, how Microsoft's going to compete with, say, EA. Because EA has their own service. Is it EA?
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called. EA something.
I can't remember.
EA Pro. We'll just call it EA Pro just because.
Yeah.
But I know that's a membership you can have, and that offers you games. Obviously, it's going to offer you EA's games, so Star Wars Battlefront, all the big top things that way. As well, I mean, even as well as Activision. I doubt you're going to see Destiny 2 on there for a while. Know, so I don't know how this is going to interact. Obviously, right now, Microsoft can do it with all their main studios. That's what I saw. I mean, they've got most of their studios. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. Obviously.
Right, of course, yeah.
I don't know, but with the other bigger publishers, I don't know how it's going to work out if they're going to do it. It would be great if you can. I mean, that it would make sense, but obviously other publishers are like, no, we could probably get more money over here with our own.
Yep.
So we'll just cut you guys out. But anyway, so that's on there as well. I wanted to go ahead and talk about the new Xbox Gold members can now download in June. June. I apologize. I get my months mixed up. Anyway, June for Gold members, games with Gold. The free games on here. So, are you guys ready? The first one is Speedrunners.
Yay.
No idea what this game is.
Oh, I totally just got that from a Humble Bundle like 2 weeks ago.
Did you? Have you played it?
Yes. It's wild. Like, it's insane. It's a platformer that is built around the concept of couch co-op. Like, that is its entire purpose for existing.
There are a lot of those games coming out.
It's super good. So it's basically you can play with 4 friends. You've got these little dudes that have little superpowers, and you pick up power-ups. And basically you're just running around a circular level in one direction, trying to be the fastest. And if anybody drops off the backside of the screen, then they're out. And after a certain amount of time, then the screen starts closing in on you and getting smaller and smaller and smaller until finally there's just one person left.
Oh,
and you just do that over and over again and see who can rack up the high score. It's totally like a get 4 friends onto the couch, and this is a party game that you can have a lot of fun with.
I've noticed those are really coming back, those couch co-op games.
Yeah, a lot of indie developers are doing stuff like that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're making a lot of money. So there you go. You get it for free. I don't know if this has been on Xbox for a while or if this is one of those, we just got it on Xbox and we're going to make it free. I'm not 100% sure, but you get it for free now. Then that's the first one for June 1st. The second Xbox One game that you'll get that actually will become available on June 16th is actually Watch Dogs. Did you ever play this one?
No, I never did. I heard pretty good things about the first one, and then I heard that the second one just iteratively improved on all of them, but was not very popular.
Yeah.
So.
This is a shooter, right?
It's like a third-person open-world style, kind of after the pattern of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, gotcha.
With an emphasis on hacking and a little bit more emphasis on story, I think, and then kind of like the social aspect of life in this sci-fi city type thing.
Gotcha.
So
okay,
but yeah, it's like a third-person action game, kind of similar to Grand Theft Auto.
Gotcha. Okay, so there you go. You can have that as well, and that becomes available on there on June 15th. They also have the third thing for you. It's actually a downloadable content. It's that free game we were talking about, which is called Phantom Dust. They are releasing the free multiplayer content DLC pack. So this is so you can play on multiplayer. And this is the Xbox Play Anywhere. So you can have one person on the PC, another person on the Xbox Play Anywhere. It's pretty cool. And that's that Phantom Dust is a recreation of a original Xbox game.
Mm-hmm.
So and they've been doing that a lot. And so, starting on the Xbox 360, on their games, the first one you'll get is Assassin's Creed 3. I never did get into the Assassin's Creed, but this one is the Revolution.
Yeah, that's the American Revolution one. That's the one that I've actually heard is like the worst in the series, like from people that have played. I actually own it because Ubisoft gave it away when, like, to celebrate their 20 years of Ubisoft or whatever event last year or something. And they gave it away, and so I own it, technically, but I've never played it because I heard that the main character is boring and nobody likes him, and the gameplay doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you're out in, like, trees and stuff like that, and so, like, jumping off of tall buildings to assassinate people isn't really an option.
Sad.
Yeah, right? It was evidently they lost a lot of the charm of the Assassin's Creed by moving the setting to there, but I don't know. Maybe it's actually amazing and everyone I've talked to is just lying. That's possible.
Who knows? That is possible, actually.
Yeah.
People like to lie to you.
That can happen.
People like to lie to you.
Yeah.
Especially Landon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It happens.
So the next one that will become available is Dragon Age Origins, which is a phenomenal game. I will say that. I actually really enjoy the Dragon Age franchise. So that is a RPG, very in-depth in story. You can create the basic, you can do warrior, thief, wizard, anything like that, rogue in it, and then it has its own talent trees that you can spec into, and this is a BioWare, so any choice that you make will affect the outcome of your gameplay.
And also you can sleep with pretty much any third-party character that there is, because BioWare.
So if you want to have a foursome,
if that's what you're really into.
You're into that.
If you're into that, there's your option. Apparently, that's what BioWare's banking on a lot of their games nowadays.
Anymore? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you go back and you look at the old ones, and romancing people wasn't even an option when BioWare first existed. But
it's because they didn't want to touch that, but now it's like
now it's all BioWare games are.
I know.
Like,
it's just a dating game with guns. Or swords.
Mass Effect Andromeda. Date in the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is.
Which is funny because I actually saw a Let's Play where they were just kind of walking around the ship, and the whole thing was, let's just walk around the ship and see what this new ship is like versus the one from the old Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
And they walked around and talked to everyone, and for every single conversation that they had, there was an option to romance the person. Always. There's always a conversation option to romance the person. Yep. It's like, seriously?
I don't want to.
And eventually they got to the end and they're all like, so can we romance this ATV over here? How about this shuttle? Like, is that an option? Need to romance the ship's computer? Like, can we do this? Anyways, it got a little ridiculous.
Gladys and I. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yep, it was sad. Anyways, BioWare. Good times.
BioWare. Yep. So there's your games with gold on there. So for your free games on the Xbox One. So... And that's pretty much the news that I had. The biggest one, obviously, was the Mixer news. And I did want to mention the Windows Phone news on there, or whatever they're doing for their Windows 10 mobile. So I hope that's something that is exciting for me, and I hope it does come out, or some iteration of it to come out into the wild. I'd love to try it. So that's what I had. And I think that's it for some Microsoft news. Let's go over to some Google.
All right.
Landon, lay it on me.
Now that we're done listening to him rant on for a while.
Hey, I got to do something.
You got to make up for me from last week.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That was awful. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
Nobody wants to hear me for that long.
Just fast forward.
Pretty much. Anyways,
depending on the app you're using, there's actually usually an option to just increase
30
audio
seconds
speed,
forward.
or just increase the speed so you can hear Landon as a chipmunk just chirping along. And
I think my app goes up to 3 times speed.
There you go. That's pretty dang
I don't
fast,
use
actually.
it, but
Is it like a blur?
basically.
We should listen to it with my Mickey Mouse voice. See how even worse that gets to.
Super high.
If you don't know what we're referring to, go back to episode 28. You'll hear Wes talk like Mickey Mouse. It's fantastic.
Easter egg.
Yeah. Anyways, Google news. One thing, I don't think this wasn't mentioned at I/O, and it's just something that's kind of rolling out on the web in search, is personal search. And what this is, it's something that's kind of been available on Android. I don't know about for iPhone. I'm assuming definitely not for Windows Phone. But what it basically does is if you search for something, there's a new tab on the website that says personal, and it'll search your stuff, like your photos or your emails or something straight from the search, like from Google's Google search website, rather than going into photos and searching or going into your email and searching and different things like that.
So could I use that to search for Google Sites that I have instead of having to go into Sites and navigate the Sites interface? Because
I would assume.
that's kind
I
of
haven't
a pain.
tested it out yet. I've seen some pictures and videos of it. It looks pretty nice. Like I said, this is something that's been available on Android to where I could just type in the Google search bar on my phone, and it'll bring up even apps or things like that if I wanted
interesting.
to. So kind of a cool new little feature. Makes it a little easier to find things if you don't know where exactly they are. I mean, this would even search your Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a note in Google Keep or a document or something like that, and you don't, if you remember writing something down, you don't remember where exactly you put it, just type part of it into Google and go to the personal tab and it'll find it for you. So that's really cool, actually.
That is pretty cool.
So, new little feature I wanted to mention. So Google Play Music, if you haven't tested it out, you might be in luck if you want to, because previously they give you 3 free months to try it before you have to start paying. Now you get 4 free months.
Whoa.
Which is better than any other service out there right now. The best was 3 months, which that's kind of a standard.
Yeah, basically everyone was doing.
Yeah. And, it's made sense why Google did that. But 4 free months now just to sign up. Now, obviously, this is if you are a new customer. You can't have already done the 3 months and then go back and do this.
Just a question. How much is a year of Google Play?
I don't know about a year. I know monthly it is, I think, $10 a month.
Yeah, that's the standard.
Yeah.
$10 a month.
Like $9.99
for an individual. Yeah. And do they have a family plan?
They do have a family plan, and I think it's up to 6 accounts.
For $15?
For $15.
Okay, so it's the exact same pricing as Apple Music.
Exactly like Apple Music and Spotify and
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Although you said $10 a month, so it's $120 a year, pretty much. Groove is cheaper, $100 flat for a year.
Yeah.
Well,
cheaper. If you're going that way, Amazon's cheaper.
Oh, that's true. What's Amazon?
Because
I don't know.
You get Amazon Prime Music, you get Prime Video, you get Prime Shipping, you get all sorts of cool crap. Yeah. Unlimited photo storage, music storage. You get all sorts of crap from Amazon for $100 a year.
Wait, seriously, unlimited photo storage?
Yeah.
Without,
I don't take advantage
cutting
of it.
your
I don't know
quality at all?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm still on the lookout for that. Because Apple's iOS solution is freaking expensive.
Told you. Google Photos.
Well, yeah, but it cuts the quality.
Not on your phone.
It totally
Remember,
does.
I told you it's 16 megapixels.
I downloaded the full quality one off of the internet, and it was like a quarter
the size.
the size.
Well, if you go to your if you upload one from your computer, yeah, it's going to cut. I've read multiple articles on this.
It was from here. It uploaded from my phone, and it cut it like quartered the size of the thing.
That seems really weird because it says up to 16 megapixels.
It was definitely not a 16 megapixel image. The thing was like maybe 8.
It's weird.
I wonder if that's in the settings or something like.
I mean, it might be. I haven't done a whole ton of looking into it, but
anyways,
all I know is that holy crap, Apple's solution is expensive just because they don't have an unlimited tier, and you have to pay for just iCloud storage in order to store your photos. And their pricing for cloud storage is
a lot of money.
Really dumb, in comparison to everyone else's. Anyways, continue.
Gotcha.
This was just something new I did not know about Amazon.
Now, does that $10 a month, is that the family plan?
No, that's the individual plan.
What's the
$15 a month for the family plan.
Oh, jeez. Gosh, I'd pay $20 just to get the family plan. Oh, sorry. Groove, please.
So
sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 free months of Google Play Music if you're interested to try it out.
That's cool.
There you go. Something that I did not, I don't know if I mentioned it or if I just passed over it last week with the I.O. talk, because there was a lot of it. They announced something called Project Treble, or just Treble, I guess. I don't know if it's still a project or whatever it is. But what this is going to do is it should make getting updates on Android easier. Now, again, it's still up to kind of carriers, unfortunately, but OEMs to push the update. One of the big issues with updates on Android has always been your processor. Whether Qualcomm wants to push the update to that processor or not, this is making it so. This is basically kind of forcing Qualcomm while they're making the chip to make it so it'll work with any version of Android.
Oh, that's nice.
So they don't have to do anything to push the update.
That's nice.
So it basically makes it so your phone really can get updates for life. Again, this is up to the manufacturer whether or not they want to support it. So, your cheap phones, it's not going to make that big of a difference because if it's not a popular phone, why would the company continue to support it, But flagship phones could be supported for longer than a year and a half or 2 years. They could go upwards of 5 or 6 years if they really wanted to. Not that the manufacturers are going to do this. The first phone that was mentioned that this will work with, conveniently for me, are the Pixel and Pixel XL.
Yes.
So
they're flagships.
Yeah. But
they're Google's flagships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, a couple weeks ago, Google put out the life cycle update calendar for the Pixels, and it was that 2-year mark where that would be the not expected, but that's the last major update that they put on there. They could update it for longer if they wanted to. That's just what the cycle has been, is 2 years, and then 2.5 or 3 years for the security updates or something like that. But this makes it so it could be even longer for major updates, and it makes it easy to do. And like I said, it makes it easier for even companies like Samsung or LG or Motorola to update their phones. Again, it's their choice still whether they want to do that, but it makes it a lot easier and can make those updates come quicker.
Yes,
because they don't have to. Yeah,
join us.
They don't have to wait for Qualcomm to make it available on the chips.
Well, that's nice that everyone needs their updates sooner.
Yeah,
especially security.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think because the iPhone 5 still supported by the most recent version of iOS, and that is 5 years old.
I think so.
I think 6 as of this next September. So 5.5 years old.
Yeah.
Basically.
So this, it could do the same thing for that.
Yep.
And that's what I'm hoping Google does, especially with the Pixel phones, because it's their own phone. They control the hardware and the software like Apple does with the iPhone.
Yep.
That's the beauty of the iPhone
and
the beauty of the Pixel. It's all controlled by one company.
Yep.
That's the downside
totally take
to other Android phones.
Yeah.
So does this mean that? Probably means that they're really pushing to make Android phones just that much more efficient.
This does it makes it just updates, I guess, are more efficient.
Well, I guess what I meant by that was because obviously they're starting it with the flagships they have now, but
right.
is this going to spread out to any of the older phones, or is it just phones from here on out?
No, from here on out.
Okay, and that's what I was meaning. Like they're going to make these next, and it sounds like to me that they're going to try and make it worth it, like to have this support, to have it, not just some random Joe Schmo Android phone over here.
Yeah, and it also makes it so, as a user, if you don't get an update, it is your manufacturer's fault.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
You know who to blame.
Well, that too.
Yep.
So,
Samsung. Oh, I mean,
basically,
and other people too.
Yeah.
Samsung and others.
Yeah. Samsung and friends.
And friends.
It sounds like the worst Saturday morning cartoon ever.
I'd watch it.
Just to make fun of it.
Pretty much. So I'm excited for that. And I mentioned last week that I did install the Android O developer preview on my phone. I've had it now for 2 weeks. I just want to give a little update on that. It is still pretty good. I'm noticing more and more bugs. It is more buggy than what I remember the Android N preview being like. Granted, I waited until midsummer to get that update, so that could be one issue I'm having. I'm debating if I want to revert back to the stable version of Nougat, just because there are certain things that I use on a regular basis that are hit or miss. Like sometimes reminders will come up, sometimes they won't. And those are kind of big deals. There's a reason I use reminders, because I need to be reminded to do something. If it doesn't pop up, I forget. So
you have problems with that?
Depends on the thing, but yeah, sometimes I do.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be up.
Yeah. Well, not alarms. Alarms are fine. Just reminders.
That's true.
Granted, reminders in Google are a pile anyways, but because there's 85 different ways to do it. But that's a different
neither
issue.
here nor there.
Yeah. But I am liking Android O. There's a lot of cool things with it. Like I said, if you want to download it, if you have a Nexus 5X, 6P, or either the Pixel phones, you can. But just be aware, it is a developer preview. It is buggy. But there are some cool features with it. And then I've started reading and watching video reviews on the HTC U11 that I mentioned last week.
Yes.
And I've gotten some clarification, because I mentioned last week it has the edge sense, as they're calling it, that you squeeze the phone. It does still have the regular buttons.
Right.
Which, thank goodness. What the edge sense does is kind of similar to, it's like someone compared it to the Motorola gesture. No, not gesture. I can't remember what Motorola called these things. Like if you were to twist your phone, like double twist your phone, it would open the camera. Or if you were to like chop your phone, it would do something different. I don't know, some weird crap like that.
Yeah.
It's just a gimmick feature like that.
Yeah.
So like if you were to squeeze a certain way or double squeeze, I don't know, it'd open your camera. Or it's basically like how BlackBerry on the Key One has the convenience key. It's actually a separate button. It's just little things like that you can tweak and open different things. So
cool.
It's kind of it's one of those things that I think, unless you have it set up to do something that you regularly do, you're probably going to forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's just a different way of input.
It's a nice little convenience thing that if you set it up for you and your personal use case, it can be really nice, but it's not necessary.
Exactly.
And it's probably not going to become an industry standard or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. But that being said, the HTC U11 is getting a lot of really good reviews, which I'm not surprised by. Again, HTC flagships are generally really good. And even the hardware, this phone is very different from what HTC has done in the past. It's all glass. And it's not like your normal glass that like they just slap it on and paint it a certain color. People are saying the glass, like the different colors, they're just, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like they're just painted glass. I don't know. It's weird. even like the pictures, or videos and stuff, if you change the angle on it, it kind of changes the paint color.
Like the glass is tinted instead of being. Oh,
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they're good looking phones, but I don't know. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go actually see one.
Yeah,
but they're only available at Sprint.
You can go to a Sprint store. They're in places.
I don't like going into phone stores in general, let alone a Sprint store.
Is it pretty bad that we're at this point of not only do we hate going to car dealerships, now it's phone dealerships?
Yeah.
Because you walk in and you're like, no, I know more than you.
Most cases, that is the case, yeah.
And I know you're just trying to sell me that because you get commission.
Yeah.
That's what, like, every
I don't
now and
want
again.
those $80 headphones.
Every now and again, you find a tech store where they aren't paid by commission, and those are precious gems that you must hold onto.
You give
life.
them tips. That's what you do. You stay
Seriously,
here.
yes.
Stay.
Well, I've even gone into like Verizon stores or AT&T stores, and every now and then I get the salesman that is actually really helpful and does know what he's talking about, or she, I guess. Because there was one time I got this. It was a girl at a Verizon store. She actually knew what the crap she was talking about with those phones, and she wasn't pushing anything on me, which was really nice.
That's
and
remarkable.
I wasn't in there to buy. I'm not a Verizon customer. I was in there with my dad, showing him different phones. But she was actually really helpful, and it was really cool.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, I wish I knew her name. This was like 4 years ago, so she probably doesn't work there anymore.
You want to really confuse people or make them really see if they know their stuff is ask them about where their Windows phones are. Is that those phones in the black corner back there? Yes, it is.
Yep, that one. Way over
right
there.
over there.
Yep, no.
It's behind
Seriously,
a headphone
it's pretty
display.
funny
What
when
did
you ask somebody that, and then they still try to sell you an iPhone. Hey, I'm looking for a Windows phone. Really?
Did you see our iPhones
Did
over
you see
here?
our iPhone over here?
Or the new Samsung? It's pretty, huh?
No. I want to know more about this. Oh.
Well, look at this phone.
Yeah, well, look at this one. Look, stop. Just stop. Is your manager here?
There was one
Wes.
time I went into AT&T, and because I am me, I asked the guy what his phone he used was, and he had a company-provided phone. It was probably a Motorola at the time because it was Motorola was pushing some phone and whatever, or I don't know. But his personal phone was a Windows phone.
Was it really?
It was the 1920 or what? The giant, the 6-inch one.
Oh yeah, with the big old camera thing on
Yeah.
the back. Oh yeah,
And he had the yellow
It's
one,
like the
and it was awesome.
925. Yeah, it was. Those ones are cool.
Yeah, and he loved it.
They're cool.
So I have seen it. There are some people.
We're rare, aren't we?
Yeah, there's
We're
like
pretty rare.
all 20 of you.
Yeah. In U.S.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. So the HTC U11 is coming out soon. It's getting really good reviews. So, yeah, check it out. I want to go play with one just to see how it is. So,
But you'll have to step foot into a Sprint store.
I'm hoping Best Buy gets one.
Maybe. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
There's a good
There you go.
alternative. That's
It's
awesome.
an option.
Maybe you have to go in with a buddy system.
Buddy!
Buddy!
You distract the salesman. I'm going to be
Yeah.
over here.
Go talk to him about that iPhone over there.
Yeah.
Get him really hyped to talk to you. I'm going to go
Ask him about the iPad Pro. Tell him that you're really interested in buying one.
I don't
and
think
sure he would
Sprint
love
would
that.
even have
and
those
have
to
a
offer.
shocked face when you can actually link the iPad to your cellular plan. Like, just be like, no.
What? Tell me more about
Get
that.
him really excited.
Now,
And then when
that
I'm done,
could
you
be
have my
fun.
excuse to just slap him and run out of the store.
We could turn this into a YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh.
Going
yes.
into phone stores and just
Seeing how worked up you can get the salesman.
that would be amazing.
And then be like, oh, this is great. Thanks for the information. Like,
See
I
ya.
just don't have a job,
and
so
then leave.
my credit's bad. No, just kidding. That's
if you
that would
want
be
us
horrible.
to do this and put it on YouTube, let us know because this does sound kind of fun.
It
Might be
does.
fun. That might be fun.
Do the buddy system. Buddy! Sorry.
Speaking of new phones, I think we mentioned a few weeks ago that this company called Essential was rumored to come out with a new phone, and this is the founder of this company is Andy Rubin, who is the creator of Android. If you weren't aware,
No.
before Google bought Android, this guy, Andy Rubin, made it. And then he worked for Google for a few years and then went on and did his own thing. And now we know what that is. He's making a phone and accessories to go with that phone, which look pretty cool. The phone is just the essential phone. Yeah, kind of interesting. As of now, at least. Maybe they'll name it later. Who knows? Probably not. It's just the phone.
Essential phone sound. That's pretty good branding.
It is really good.
It makes it really easy for the marketing team.
Yes.
Just go.
This is the essential phone. You need this.
It's essential.
These ads just write themselves.
Pretty much. Some of the specs on this phone, it's kind of a standard flagship. It's got the Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. It's got a fingerprint sensor on the back. It's got dual 13-megapixel cameras on the back. And these work in the same way the Huawei dual camera systems do. Basically, it just gives more detail to the photo if you want, which is kind of cool. It's one way to do it. I still like LG's way the best with the wide-angle camera and a standard camera, but that's personal preference. I do also like Apple's way of doing it, which is kind of a zoom.
Yeah, it's the telephoto and then the regular camera.
Yeah.
So basically the opposite of LG's.
Pretty much. I want a triple camera with both options.
Yes.
The standard,
Perfect.
the telephoto, and the wide angle. Ready to go. Oh, there's so much. That's a lot to put on a phone.
That is a lot of
How
cameras.
much would that phone cost, dude?
$5,000.
Quite a lot of money.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, back to the essential phone. The front camera is an 8-megapixel camera, and it also shoots 4K video, which I thought was interesting to have on a front-facing camera.
Hey.
But, kind of cool.
That means you got to have a big memory card.
4K video chats.
It's got 128 gigs of storage. So.
4K video chats and a data plan.
Yeah.
Good thing they're all coming to unlimited.
Kind of. It's got a 3,040 milliamp hour battery, so pretty decent sized battery. Bluetooth 5.0, which is awesome.
Hey yo.
The only other phone that I know of that has that is the Samsung S8. I don't even think the G6 has Bluetooth 5.
No, I'm not sure.
At least they didn't advertise it like Samsung did.
No.
Either way, Bluetooth 5, awesome. The screen on this phone is the interesting thing. It's an edge-to-edge screen, kind of similar to LG's and Samsung's. It's also taller, like LG's and Samsung's, but it actually uses more of the front of the phone than LG's or Samsung's, which is surprising because Samsung uses a lot of the front of the phone. This one goes all the way to the top and kind of wraps around the camera at the top, which is weird.
Yeah.
And it looks weird, but someone, I can't remember if it was on their website or someone just posted this on a article about it, but it kind of makes sense because on Android, and it is running Android. They haven't said what version it's going to be. It's either going to be Nougat or Android O, depending on when it comes out. But on Android, generally in the notification area or the at the top of the screen, there's nothing in the middle, as opposed to like iOS where that's where the clock is.
Yep.
The clock on Android is on the far right, and your notifications come in on the far left. So there's generally nothing in the middle. So why not have a screen there? Yeah, exactly. So it kind of makes sense. It just looks funny because there's a black U at the top of your screen.
Yeah.
Where the camera's going to be. So it is kind of interesting. There is still some bezel on the bottom, which thank goodness because makes it a little easier to hold. So you can put your thumb down there if you need to, or if when you're not touching the screen or something, just makes it a little easier to hold. But it does. I still think it looks good. It is that, like I said, the camera is kind of weird to have cut into the screen, but again, big screen. The aspect ratio is weird. It's 19 by 10. It's 2560 by 1312 pixels. It's QHD, 5.71 inch display.
Yeah, that's odd.
And again, 19 by 10. It's just weird.
Yep. I think that over the next couple of years, we're going to have some really odd screen ratios for phones. Like,
Yeah.
we standardized for a little while there, and now we're going to screw it around with it for a minute, and then we'll standardize again in a couple
Although
of years.
I think what Samsung and LG and what Apple is rumored to do is the same as what Samsung and LG has done. I can't remember that exact ratio, but I'm assuming that's probably going to be the next standard on phones.
Yeah.
Just the really tall and skinny phone with all screen, basically, which isn't a bad thing because you get a lot more content. Because
on a much smaller phone.
Yeah, because generally adding content doesn't mean make your phone wider. It means make your phone taller, which is what they did. So, makes sense. So yeah, weird 19 by 10 aspect ratio, kind of strange, but whatever. It does have USB-C. It does not have a headphone jack. But don't worry, it comes with an adapter because that's what we're all about now. Comes in 4 colors, and right now you can reserve, not pre-order, but reserve the Black Moon and Pure White colors, and later they're coming out with a Stellar Gray and Ocean Depths color, which that one is kind of like a dark teal color with a dark gold frame. It actually looks really good.
Ooh.
Like, I first saw, that was the first picture I saw of this phone. I was like, ooh, that's really pretty. I don't know if I would buy that one because I'm not a huge fan of the gold, but this one, I don't know, it's almost a brassy gold color. I don't know.
Right.
It looks really good. But that one you can't order yet, but it is coming later, they say. Let's see it. The one cool thing is the build quality on this phone. Most phones are aluminum and glass. This one is titanium frame and ceramic on the back.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they're claiming that they've done drop tests on all the flagships, so meaning the iPhone and Samsung, and this one. And they even show pictures. Both the Samsung and the iPhone have minor scratches on the corner. This one has nothing. Who knows if they actually dropped it? I'm assuming they did, but you don't know.
It's marketing material. Who knows?
Exactly. They don't have a video. They just have a picture. But it is titanium and ceramic. It should hold up better, but you never know. But I think it's a pretty cool phone. It looks really nice. It also has some interesting technology in the back. It's kind of like how Motorola with the Moto mods, they have the magnetic connectors on the back. This one has something similar to that, and it comes with an accessory. It's a 360-degree camera that just snaps right onto the back of the phone, and there's 2 brass connectors in the back that it magnetically snaps into place and then connects via that, and you can do 360 video from your phone, which is kind of cool. The camera itself costs $200, but if you were to reserve the phone, you get it for $50. So that's a pretty dang good deal.
Yeah, no, that's
the
nice.
phone itself is $699, which isn't horrible. It's standard flagship price.
Flagship price.
And for the specs, that's definitely not bad. And then you add the camera for $50. That's Yeah, you add that 360-degree camera for $50.
I'm sorry.
For $50. Wow, that's really difficult to say.
For 50.
When you're doing it kind of fast. Yeah, it's not easy.
For 50.
Anyways,
50.
when you add that 360-degree camera for only $50, there, I'll put only in between.
There you go.
That's not a bad deal.
No, not at all.
That saves you $150 just on the camera. I would probably do it just because I've wanted to get a 360-degree camera anyways, so why not one that'll work with my phone?
Deal.
And they're claiming the camera is the smallest 360-degree camera out there, which it looks like it is. It snaps on the back of your phone. I would hope that it's small.
Sure.
It does, like the
add a lot of
pictures.
bulk to the phone.
Yeah, the pictures do look like it doesn't add a whole lot to the phone. It does come up above the phone about an inch maybe, because it kind of has to, or how would it be 360 if it didn't? So It does look pretty cool, though. Another accessory that they're making for the phone is a dock. They didn't really show on their website, didn't have many pictures of this. All it was, like, it's just like a wireless charger dock, kind of. You lay the phone down. It uses those magnetic connectors to charge your phone wirelessly. And you just lay it down, it charges quickly, and then you take it up, and it's just easy to do. That's basically all they said the dock does right now. And it's not really a dock, it's just looks like a slab of something that you put the phone on.
Yeah.
But, and they don't have any prices on that either. It's coming. It's going to be there. They're kind of hoping that this way of modularity is the better way. Obviously, they think it is. And the way that other companies will pick up. I kind of get that. I mean, it's, like I said, it's very similar to what Motorola has done with the Moto Mods, just a smaller form factor.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. Although I do still like what Motorola did, because it just takes up the whole back of the phone and just makes the phone slightly thicker depending on what you're doing, but it still looks like a normal phone.
Yeah.
Whereas this does change things quite a bit.
Yes.
Depending on what the accessory is going to be. The 360 camera obviously is going to add to the phone quite a bit, but who knows what else they're going to come out with. I'm sure they're going to try and get third parties to make something for it. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's something that's that's there. The phone does look pretty cool. There's no like details on the operating system. I mean, obviously it runs Android. It looks like it's going to be relatively stock Android, which would make sense. It's Andy Rubin, you know. But we don't have details on that. There's no videos of the phone. Nobody has the phone. Like, no review sites have it. All the details we have are on Essential's website. If you want to go look at it, go there, check it out. I think it looks pretty cool. Another device that they came out with is called the Essential Home. And this is something to compete with Google Home and the Amazon Echo. And it looks a little bit bigger than the Echo Dot.
Yeah, a little bit taller.
Better. I think it looks better looking. And
Yes.
It has a screen on it.
Yes.
And it's got what they're calling Ambient OS. It's their own operating system made for this. And the cool thing about this is it does everything locally, if it can. It can connect to the cloud and do things that way. But it's basically like if this and that. Like, you set it up the same way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it does everything just localized to the device itself, which is really cool. It's a lot more. It's a good way to have a smart home and keep everything more private.
Yeah. And every time we talk about smart home hubs, this is pretty much exactly what I wanted to see. You know, something with its own dedicated OS that has a little screen that isn't obnoxious and looks like a digital photo frame like the Amazon
Echo
thing.
look.
Yeah, the Echo look.
Echo Show. Look is very different.
Yeah, right, yes. No, the Show. Because it's just this little round screen that sits on top of this thing that looks a bit like an Echo Dot, and it's cool. Like, it looks nice. The user experience is tailored for that screen, and it doesn't take up a whole huge amount of space and doesn't look tacky and stuff like that. Like, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. When I saw it, like, I've always been interested in this type of stuff, and I've thought about getting a Google Home. I have no real reason to get one yet. But this, like Caleb was saying, it looks really good, and it looks really effective. And if it has that privacy factor as well, why not?
Yeah, seriously.
Because that's something that probably concerns a lot of people with the smart home stuff, is the privacy thing. Because obviously a lot of these, like the Echo and Google Home, are, using cloud services to do most of this stuff. It has to go somewhere and come back to you. This is localized to the device or to whatever smart home device that you have, like, the lights or whatever, your fridge or who knows what. So, pretty cool.
That is cool.
As far as I could tell, I don't think it had a price yet on that either.
No, I don't think so.
So, but it's something that they had a lot more details on. And another cool thing with the Ambient OS they say it can automatically introduce itself to new devices, so new smart home devices that you add, and makes it really easy to set up with those devices.
That's cool.
Which is kind of cool. So ease of use and privacy, two big things that people are concerned with these things. So I think they're, making a lot of big moves with that. And
Definitely.
I think it's going to be a pretty good, take a good hit out of Amazon and Google, I think.
Set a bar.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's everything that Essential came out with today, which is quite a bit. But like I said, right now you can't buy any of this stuff yet. You can reserve a phone with the camera. And by reserve, like I said, you can't pre-order it. What the reserve thing does, it just makes it so you have, when it is available to pre-order, you have the option to do it before most other people. And you can opt out of that. If you get to the point where they have it and they've emailed you saying, hey, you can now pre-order, you don't have to. It's just you can reserve that space to do it when it's available. Like right now, you do not give them your credit card information. You don't have to pay the $700 or however much if you add the camera to get the phone right now. That's something you have to do later. So that's a nice thing also. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about is some potentially leaked images of the LG V30. And this is really interesting. And this comes from EvLeaks on Twitter, Evan Blass, who is pretty reliable in this. And he even said these are, at least what he initially leaked out was prototypes, like far along prototypes of what the V30 could be. And it has the secondary display like what the V10 and V20 had. But this is a slide-out secondary display.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was, and like one of the pictures showed it full, like in, and it still had partial display on the bottom. And this is on the bottom of the phone also, not on the top where the other ones have been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So it slides down, and there's just adds more functionality to it.
Huh.
And some of the pictures that they showed had it in like a video editing app where it showed the video up top and the editing stuff is on the bottom. Or like if you're typing something, the keyboard is on the bottom screen instead of on the main screen.
Right, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. And just different little things like that, which, can be functional as long as people take advantage of it.
Right.
But it's one of those things developers would have to specifically make an app for that phone.
Yeah.
Which they're not going to do.
Yeah, with so many Android phones.
Seems
unlikely.
Sounds like a pretty gnarly Nintendo DS.
Basically. But
be a
yeah,
lot
it's
cheaper
kind
just
of
to buy a Nintendo DS.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting little concept. We have yet to see what LG is going to do with the V30, but that's something that could potentially come.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. I've seen secondary display phones, and I don't think we've seen it done right yet. I think. Like, there's been companies that play around with it. LG's messed around with it a little bit with the little tiny secondary displays.
That's the iteration that I've kind of liked the most so far.
Yeah.
Because it does give you extra, like if that's where you get your notifications rather than on the rest of the screen, that's kind of cool.
Right. Extra space. Yeah. That's nice. The Yoda phone, have you seen that?
Yeah,
that thing?
that was
That was kind of a funky concept.
E-ink
on the back.
Yeah.
Which, that could be really cool, and I heard that the second iteration of that phone actually did use that for, good stuff. Like, you could pull the thing out and you could see everything you wanted to see, like the time and weather and that kind of thing, without actually having to wake up the display.
Well, the second iteration, they actually had a touch e-ink display on the back.
Yes.
So you could actually interact with stuff,
right,
like notifications. Whereas the first one, you could just read them.
Yes, exactly. So the second one, I hear, did a pretty good job. But, like, again, we've seen a number of different styles of phone like this. I don't think we've seen it done right yet.
Yeah.
But we're getting closer, so we'll see if this is another step in the right direction.
Yeah. Like I said, the pictures I've seen of it make a decent use case out of it, but this is potentially LG's marketing photos, and obviously they're going to showcase the best options that are available for it. And again, this was a prototype leak, may or may not be the final build of the phone. But where who it's coming from, I'm sure this is a legitimate prototype and probably a far along prototype. Nothing that was like, oh, we thought about this 5 years ago but scrapped it and now we're going to leak it. No, it's not anything like that, because Evleaks doesn't do things like that. He makes sure that it's mostly legit before he puts it out there. But
that's cool.
Yeah, and that's all the Google news that I have for this week.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, let's move on over to some Apple news.
All right.
And then shortly after Apple, we'll finish up some gaming news.
So I wanted to start with a little tiny bit of kind of Android-related news, and I wanted to mention this because it is rumored that our iPhone edition or X or whatever is the fancy one is going to be this year is going to have an iris scanner. Another phone that was recently released that has an iris scanner is the Samsung S8. And it, like the iris scanner is similar to the fingerprint sensor. It's the same level of biometric security as the fingerprint sensor. So it's different than facial recognition. And if you're in a brightly lit room or you're outside and you don't have glasses, then the iris scanner evidently works pretty well. If you do have glasses or it's dark at all or there's any kind of weird lighting, then it doesn't work very well at all.
Now with that, I've heard multiple things. Some people say it works better in dark lit areas.
Really?
And some people say it doesn't. Some people say it works fine with their glasses. Some say it doesn't work with their glasses.
It's just a really...
Either way, it's hit or miss.
Kind of, yeah, it feels a little bit like a hack right now.
And I haven't heard from a lot of people, but they have the same scanners on PCs with Windows Hello.
Yep.
But I haven't heard any issues. Granted, people that are doing that are mostly going to be inside.
Right.
But I haven't heard a lot of issues with those ones, so I want to know. I kind of want to know what the difference is.
Well, and I gotta wonder too if it's just that the phone you're looking down at your hand and it's not an ideal position, whereas the PC it's sitting out in front of you.
Yeah,
and maybe that's just a better position for it.
Your eyes are wide open. And can see it a little easier. That would make sense.
So anyways, Apple is rumored to be including one of these things that. Assuming, it would be similar to how Samsung has done it in that it's the same level of biometric security as the fingerprint sensor, which is a little bit concerning considering that some students fooled the S8's iris scanner with a sheet of paper and a contact lens.
Yeah.
So they took a picture of somebody's face and printed it out on a sheet of paper, put a contact lens over top of their eye, pointed the phone at it, and it unlocked. And, that's worrisome. So definitely not necessarily a replacement for your fingerprint yet, because while it is possible to spoof a fingerprint for one of these fingerprint sensors on phones these days, it's incredibly difficult.
It's nowhere near that easy.
You have to form a resin finger out of somebody's fingerprint and then put somebody else's finger inside of it so that it has the heat and the electromagnetic current, and the resin has to be the right consistency of metal filings to anyways. It's a pain. It can be done, but it's obnoxious. So I wonder, first of all, is Apple, really going to go through with something like that and make it so that you can use Apple Pay with this if somebody can spoof it with your face with a contact lens taped onto it? And also I wonder, did Samsung really not test this kind of thing before they just said, yeah, you can use this for mobile payments? Did nobody at Samsung think I should take a picture of somebody, print it out, and then maybe put some glass over the eye to make it look more like an eyeball and then see? That it makes me wonder, and I'm a little concerned now. So about what that could mean for the next iPhone.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the reasons Samsung put that on there was because they couldn't do the fingerprint sensor through the screen.
Yes.
And I mean, all rumors are pointing to Apple trying the same thing. And
though if they would have put the fingerprint sensor in a sane place on the back of the phone, it wouldn't have really been a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's Samsung.
Samsung doing Samsung things. Anyways, more iPhone rumors that we've had. Not really. So reliable sources for the iPhone and the iPhone supply line are pointing more and more toward the Touch ID sensor being integrated into the front of the phone, which means we may very well not end up with an iris scanner at all because,
or don't have the need for one.
Right. Exactly. So rumors about the Touch ID on the back of the phone have died down, which is kind of funny because also this last week we had some leaks of marketing material for a Chinese knockoff iPhone 8 that had the fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone. And it's just one of those, I don't know. it's hilarious to me that this thing hasn't even been released yet. This phone doesn't exist. We've already got Chinese knockoffs. I'm actually kind of halfway happy about that because those are always fun.
Chinese knockoffs.
I might be the only person who enjoys like buying the Chinese knockoff iPhones and that kind of thing, but I really do. Like
that run Android.
It's fun. Yes, that are running Android that's skinned to look like iOS. Anyways, so it's entirely possible before the iPhone is actually released, we'll be able to get one of those that is using the rumors of the Touch ID being on the back, which may end up not actually looking anything like the end iPhone if the more reliable supply chain rumors are right, because it sounds like Apple is moving away from that and they're just going to be sticking with the screen. There's also rumors that we're going to be seeing a fundamentally redesigned iOS at WWDC next week, which kind of makes sense because the last major redesign we had to the OS was iOS 7, which was a few years ago. So we're probably overdue for that. So that's a good possibility. And along with WWDC coming next week, shipping times for the current MacBook Pros have actually slipped out a week. So they're not up. They're not shipping immediately right now, which does usually happen before something new is announced. And the rumor is we're going to be getting spec bumps for the processors and that kind of thing at WWDC. So good chance of that happening as well. Okay. So that's all. Like, there's some stuff going on. Obviously, the big news for Apple is going to be next week after the WWDC keynote on Monday. We should have quite a bit to talk about then. So,
are you excited? What's the biggest thing you're looking forward to, Caleb, of this?
The biggest thing that I am looking forward to is probably not going to happen. Because what I want is the MacBook that they sell right now with i-series processors instead of m-series processors and with a Thunderbolt 3 port on it and preferably 2 of them.
That would be good.
That would be awesome. That seems like kind of a fundamental design change, and I really don't think is going to happen at WWDC. So beyond that, I would hope that they drop the pricing of the non-touch bar 13-inch MacBook Pro down to so that entry level is more around like $1,200 or so, because then I might actually buy one of those.
There you go.
So if they do that could be big. That one's possible. So maybe we'll see something like that. As far as the operating systems are concerned, I really expect a huge push on AI and the integration between the mobile and desktop operating systems, so as far as their continuity features are concerned. So as long as they've got that, then I'll be pretty satisfied on the software front. I'm not expecting any huge changes because, like I've said before, they have a really solid, well-developed, very mature operating system going on that is extremely stable and very predictable, and they don't want to mess that up. I kind of wish that they would mess that up. Like, at the very least, give us some kind of like here's a beta of the OS or something like that has some weird stuff you can play around with, or like here's our beta operating system that we're developing alongside our main I don't know. I would love to see something like that, but at the same time, I get why they are hesitant to do that. But yeah, I don't know that we'll be seeing anything major at WWDC, but who knows?
Here's hoping.
Apple has surprised me before. I mean, they're actually kind of overdue for a surprise me at this point.
They might have one more thing.
Well, if they're going to actually do the one more thing, let's hope that Tim went back and watched some old keynotes, figure out how Steve did it, because he did it wrong the last time he did it. Anyway, so the next piece of Apple news, Carpool Karaoke. We have a release date for that, finally. The new episodes will start airing on Apple Music in iTunes, unfortunately, on August 8th. When the first episode will drop, they will be airing weekly on Tuesdays following that. And I think there's like 16 episodes or something like that. So,
did they announce who is in it?
No. They've released some videos at times in the past that have shown just kind of some of the guests you can expect, and they had some folks like Will Smith and various actors and then, musicians and whatnot. So every episode is going to be like, there's no host that is standard. Every episode is going to be a couple of different people in the car doing stuff. So beyond that, we don't really have a whole lot of details. It'll be interesting to see how it turned out. Okay, and beyond that, a little bit of this is kind of ancillarily related to Apple. Intel today announced their new X series of processors. So up to now, we've had I series, like the i5, i7, i3, whatever, and then M series, the M3, M5, M7. So the X series they're not like X5, X7 or anything like that, but they're basically just like each of those, like the I series processors just bumped up a little bit as far as performance is concerned. And they introduced a new i9 associated with these X series processors that is going to have up to 18 cores on it, which to me actually kind of smacks a little bit of their like starting to feel the hurt from AMD's multiprocessor mastery.
Yeah.
Because AMD has been selling like, just mass market consumer level 8 core processors for years. And this is the first time we've seen anything more than a quad core for consumers out of Intel. Up to this point, the only like more than quad core you could get were Xeons, and those are definitely like those are servers, high-end desktops for professionals and prosumers and stuff like that. So yes, the i9, they're saying that they could be available on their roadmap by the end of 2017.
Now is that 18 actual cores or is it 9 hyper-threaded?
I'm not sure they actually said.
Okay.
But knowing Intel, could be either. Okay. So,
because if there's 18 exact cores, dude.
That's big. That's a big deal. So, I mean, they're obviously desktop chips. Like, this i9 is not currently slated for any kind of laptop, mobile-oriented, low-power chip right now.
I want it in my phone.
Oh, dude. Your phone will melt.
I also heard this was a lot smarter chip, meaning that it will try and utilize each processor.
Right.
Instead of, so it'll be like, oh, that one's not being used. Let's go ahead and pull from that. Instead of trying to just throw it out there at the wall.
Yeah, from what I understood, they're going to try and push like kind of a multi-core, like multi-threading style that doesn't actually rely as much on the software and operating system supporting that many threads. Because, OSs do. Now, you can put 20 cores into Mac OS or Windows or whatever, and they're just fine with it. But the software, most software doesn't, it's all like, two cores. I only know how to use 2 cores.
I only know 2.
And so, like, the processor itself can actually be more intelligent in that way. And it sounded like they were going to be doing some work there, which might actually boost the effectiveness of just their normal quad-core processors. So, that would be nice. So this is interesting to me, given that Apple is supposedly working on an iMac specifically designed for pro-level users that's supposed to be coming out toward the end of this year. So we could be looking at this thing with this new i9 in it. Right now, the rumors are that Apple is testing the thing with Xeons. But, I mean, how difficult could it be to just go, oh, yeah, this i9, it's probably the exact same thing as the Xeon, except just different branding or maybe a different socket, and just swap the processor in. So
it's like back in the day when they were making the quad cores, and then it's like, oh, there's one core that doesn't work. We'll just sell it as a triple. They'll just lock the one that doesn't work, and then here's your triple.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a good chance we could be seeing one of these new X series processors in this professional level iMac at the end of 2017. So
cool.
I'm interested to see how that turns out. Last part of Apple news, North Korean company. There's a North Korean tech company that is selling a tablet they are straight up calling an iPad with the same capitalization and everything. And
because it's North Korea.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And they can't get the iPad, so
yes,
let's make our own.
It's horrible. The specs of this thing are embarrassing, and it to make any Windows Mobile users feel really good about themselves. Their marketing material for this thing was boasting over 40 apps. 40.
Over 40.
Over 40.
Yep.
So 41.
So, yeah, exactly. Could be as many as 45.
Whoa.
That's
amazing. Settle yourself down there.
Yep.
I want one.
It looks really dumb. Like it looks
how
like
many people are going to get duped in buying this thing?
Well, in North Korea, it's really your only option. So
that is true.
I'm sure that there will be, a few thousand North Koreans that do, but it's definitely one of those things where like the cheapest crappiest pile of crap Android 7-inch tablet that you can buy on the market right now. Probably quite a bit better than this thing.
Geez.
So
just to put this into perspective, 40 apps. Okay, I currently have 179 apps installed on my phone.
Dude.
Now, this is all the pre-installed and ones that are hidden and stuff like that.
Right.
But, yeah. So,
is that a good thing?
I'm not saying for me, average users aren't going to have nearly as many apps as I do, but...
Oh, my goodness. I don't have...
Average users are probably going to be around 100.
Yeah.
On a standard phone,
Yep. And this thing comes with pre-installed 40 apps that include stuff like a health database and... Yeah. Anyways, it just sounds like the most ridiculous thing ever, but it is straight up lowercase I, capital P, iPad, one word. And
please don't get duped for this.
It's hilarious.
Please don't.
Doesn't look anything like an actual iPad, which helps, I guess.
Good.
Probably running their own custom operating system too. So I fully expect this thing is a pile of garbage, and it just made me laugh. So I had to share.
Maybe it's a spy thing. Oh, sure, you buy it for $40. That's probably. I don't even think that's how they sound, but I just did.
Okay, so gaming.
Let's do
I'm going to move on to gaming news.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of games that were either revealed this past week or had details about them revealed this past week that are new and kind of exciting. And it's making the second half of 2017. Like all the big games of early 2017 are out.
Yes.
Like they are out now as of like Prey 2. Prey 2, no. Prey, the remake of Prey.
Yeah.
That is, that's kind of the last of like early 2017 huge blockbusters. So they're out now. So now we're starting to look at the second half of 2017. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot more detail for most of these games come E3. But we had Far Cry 5 that was revealed.
Yes.
This past week we got a theatrical trailer kind of for that. So that is going to be set in Backwoods, Montana. The baddies are some sort of nationalist cult that, it sounds kind of scary, religious.
This might be the first Far Cry I play, actually. It looks interesting. It
looks really interesting, actually. And evidently they are keeping the wildlife taming aspect of Far Cry Primal, which was the reason that was the first Far Cry game I ever played, was because you could tame animals.
That's
and
cool.
Like, they could follow you around and help you out and stuff, which I was like, oh, hey, that's awesome. So they're carrying that over, so I might be on board. But at the same time, I'm kind of starting to realize that all Ubisoft open world games are basically the same thing.
They are.
At least the world itself is basically the same thing.
Just with different
between
towers.
Far Cry and Ghost Recon Wildlands and stuff like The Crew. Like, The Crew is a racing game.
Yep.
And yet the open world that it takes place in still feels pretty much exactly the same as the one in Far Cry and stuff. Anyways, so Ubisoft. Woo! You're crazy. Anyways, so that's, they got some details there. It looks interesting. I'm kind of excited to see what the gameplay looks like, see if that's something I would be interested in. I bought Far Cry Primal last year, and I enjoy it. I'm not in love with it, so I don't know if, they'll have a bit of an uphill battle to try and convince me to buy Far Cry 5.
Gotcha.
But
it's like I've seen Primal. I've seen a lot of the other Far Cries, but this one really kind of grabbed me. Now, I don't know if it's because I have an itch to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a huge itch.
So maybe wait for Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, Red Dead, just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, that got delayed, by the way.
Yes, again.
Again, so
sad.
To 2018.
Come on, Rockstar.
Oh, but you know what? Give it to them. That's going to be a sweet game.
It's, I got to wonder, though, if it's delayed just because Grand Theft Auto 5 is still selling full price, $60. Like,
yeah. I still haven't bought that game.
Yeah, me either. I'm hoping that they'll move on if I don't buy it. That's
no, they want
not
everybody.
the case. You must buy this before we will sell you a new one.
It's like Valve. We found our cash cow.
Right,
now
exactly.
we don't have to make any games.
Nope, we're done.
Who needs a Half-Life 3 or Left 4 Dead 3 or Portal 3? The threes they don't like.
Nope. Speaking of not threes, Destiny 2. So we had details for that a little bit. It was a little bit over a week ago, but we didn't really talk about it last week. So Destiny 2 is basically the first game over again. It's from what it sounds is the first game over again with some popular improvements. So like the stuff that people whined about in the first Destiny, Bungie's all like, okay, yeah, we'll give you those things. So they've made some of those changes. We're going to be having more story in the game. You're going to be running with some of the with the NPCs and non-player characters actually out in the world doing quests and stuff like that, which is interesting to me because I love a good story-based game. And if this turns out to actually have a really good story, I'm going to be way more tempted to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be available on PC this go-round, which, I'm interested in, and is going to be available on PC through Battle.net because reasons.
Well,
I guess.
Business decision.
Yeah, because Activision and Blizzard are partnered.
Owns it, and instead of creating their own and another different type of way to communicate, why not just use what you already have?
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Which makes sense, but at the same time, Steam is there and available.
Yeah, but they own Blizzard's instead of they don't own Steam, so it's kind of more.
Well, it's true. So they'd have to give Steam a cut of the sales, and I'm sure that definitely influenced it. But they're going to have to so they're maintaining separate servers for the game. Like Bungie will be maintaining the servers. Steam is going to be, or Battle.net is going to be in charge of the front end for the store, is going to be in charge of the matchmaking, no, not matchmaking.
The voice.
The voice stuff,
Party
the
chat.
chat stuff, the friends system, all of that stuff, the front end and all that work that Blizzard has already done.
Right.
They'll be leveraging all of that, which, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just a little bit like,
I don't want that on my Blizzard app.
I know, yes. Especially if it's if it turns out to not be as good as like Blizzard games, then I'm just gonna be like, banish the infidel. Anyways,
can you actually take stuff off your Blizzard app?
Like, not that I'm aware of.
I hope they put that in because
it would be nice. Like hide non-Blizzard games.
I'm sorry, Destiny people that like this game, but I don't know. # not my Blizzard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I said, if it ends up having a really good story, then maybe they can sell me on it. But
yeah.
I don't know. Be interesting to see. So in another game that actually, I already want to buy this game, and please just give it to me. Agents of Mayhem released some new footage of the vehicles that you're going to be able to use in the game. So for those of you that aren't aware, Saints Row. Saints Row, which I've talked about before on this podcast, is basically Grand Theft Auto with a sense of humor that realizes it really should not be taking itself seriously and is, in that way, the best game of that type that I've ever seen. And I've played Saints Row 3 and 4, love them both. Saints Row 4 introduced superpowers, which was just the best thing ever. And I just love these games. They're fantastic. So,
aren't you the president in Saints Row 4?
Yes, you start out as the president of Saints Row 4, and it is amazing.
And then you get superpowers.
It is the best thing. So seriously, within the first 15 minutes of Saints Row 4, I was laughing so hard I had to pause the game because just what was happening was so ridiculous and so funny. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Awesome. Volition did an excellent job. Agents of Mayhem is not necessarily a direct sequel to the Saints Row franchise, but is set in the same world as the Saints Row franchise. Takes place after Saints Row 4 and the Saints Row 4 Gat Out of Hell expansion / standalone title that was kind of a weird... anyways, that thing was there. I haven't played that one yet, but, it's only a couple of bucks on GOG, so I'm probably going to play it eventually. So Agents of Mayhem has my attention just because it's a follow-up to those games by the same developer in the same universe with a lot of the same sense of humor. And the new vehicles and characters and stuff that they've released just this past week, I love it. It's kind of got a Knight Rider-esque vibe to it, kind of Knight Rider mixed with Jarvis and... the Iron Man suit, and then, you have these characters that are also just ridiculous, crazy, over the top, have superpowers, and, all the good stuff that Saints Row has always had.
Yes.
With the addition of making the vehicles better than they ever were. Which is one of the things about Saints Row 4. I was kind of with Saints Row 3, you have to drive around in vehicles if you want to get around the map at all. Saints Row 4, you can run really fast and jump really high. I have not been in a car that entire game. Heck with the cars. I would much rather run.
Who needs Grand Theft Auto?
Right? Exactly. No, you all can keep your cars. I'm just going to run. So anyways, Agents of Mayhem looks really cool.
That's cool.
The vehicles look cool. Like, they might actually be able to get me to drive the cars in this game, and I really want this game, and please just give it to me. Another game that was actually leaked this past week, for anyone that has heard of Life is Strange, which is a really weird kind of artsy game. So we had a leak for Life is Strange 2, which is supposed to be like getting official announcement at E3 here in a couple of weeks. So for those of you that aren't really into the big action games like Destiny and Far Cry and Agents of Mayhem, you can take photos of stuff and reverse time. I never really was sure how those two things were related, but Life is Strange.
It's there.
It's a thing. It's yeah, go for it.
You have this opportunity.
Yes.
For $39.99.
Yes. And going along with the theme of stuff that is for people who aren't big into action games, Supergiant Games have announced their next game, which is going to be called Pyre. And for those of you that aren't aware, Supergiant Games are the creators of Bastion and Transistor, which are
I know
fabulous indie games. Transistor is the best reason that I can think of for buying a controller for your Apple TV 4.
Oh, yeah?
It's because the game is available on Apple TV, and it plays okay with the included remote, but it is so much better with the controller. And for $50, like if you have an Apple TV 4, spend the $5, get the game, and then spend the $50, get the controller. The nice part about it is you can also play it on your phone and your iPad as well.
That's awesome.
And it is a really, really good indie game. Like, just amazing aesthetic to the whole thing, fantastic mood, and a really interesting story told in a very unique way with amazing music and just great. Like, everything's great. Voice acting's great. The art style is great. Yeah, game's amazing. Love it. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Pyre. That's going to be releasing on July 25th. And I will probably be buying that one. I will probably almost definitely be buying Agents of Mayhem as well, assuming that I've actually finished Saints Row 4 by then. And as for the rest of these, it remains to be seen.
Yep.
So, that's all the gaming news that I had.
Although, if you have not hopped in Overwatch...
Oh, yes, that too.
Please do yourself a favor and hop in and join us.
Yes.
They now have released the Overwatch Game of the Year edition. What does this do? It just gives you access to Overwatch. There's no additional things.
It's the Origins edition that they were selling before, which included a bunch of skins for the characters
that
were
true.
Only available through the Origins edition. It's all of that, and I think they added a skin or maybe some sprays or something for the Game of the Year edition. There was a few minor changes, but
nothing huge.
Yeah, nothing major. But just, the game's amazing. Get it? I know. I can never say
they're celebrating
enough. They're doing the anniversary event right now,
and they are
1
amazing.
Year. This is a lot of fun.
Every character has a dance.
Yeah,
some are very awesome compared to others.
They brought back the Total Mayhem arcade game mode.
Oh, yes.
Which was like my favorite from the playlist back when they had the playlist of games.
It is a Total Mayhem.
Oh, such an amazing game mode. I hope they keep that one. Like, I don't even remember what was there before. What was it? Unlimited? The Unlimited mode where you could have as many heroes as... No, Capture the Flag is still there.
Yeah, Capture the Flag's still there.
You could have as many heroes of the same type as you wanted and stuff like that. And
that
mode
got so ridiculous.
Yeah, it got so played out.
Because everyone just played Torbjorn.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
Just a bunch of freaking Torbjorns running around.
If you were not on defense, you lost. There's just nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
But Total Mayhem, completely different, way more fun. So yeah, good stuff going on right now.
Got some good stuff. Good time to be a gamer. So enjoy. Awesome. Well, I think that's all the gaming news. Unless Landon's got a surprise game.
No.
Not today.
No, not this week.
No? How's your Super Mario run going?
I'm not playing it quite as much as I was before. I still play it fairly regularly, but not as often, I guess. But yeah, it is still fun.
So on that note, I was offered to buy a Nintendo Switch for $150. New. It is used. Not new, but it still is used, but it was from my brother. He's like, I just don't play it, and it comes with Legend of Zelda and all the little things he has. He's like, I just don't play it. I use my PC. He's like, I just spent $2,000 on this PC. I'll probably be playing this more. He's like, I maybe played it once or twice, but do you want it? He's like, I'll sell it to you for like $150. I'm like,
please tell me you did this.
Guess who's going to be getting a Nintendo Switch?
Good.
That's
yep.
awesome.
We would have been disappointed.
Guess
what?
Very
If you had not.
disappointed.
Guess who's going to be bringing it next time, or maybe next time, or whenever he brings it up?
Yes.
This guy. We're going to get it, and we're going to mess with it, fellas.
Nice.
This may be the first time we do video.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so awesome.
For the Switch.
Not streaming our podcast by any means. We'll put video on YouTube of us playing on the Switch.
Dude, I'm excited. I am. I'm excited to mess and play and tinker and just
amazing.
So, $150. I'm like, okay. It was funny because he said that to me in front of my wife, and I just look at her and I'm like, huh? she's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, awesome. So
now,
thanks, brother.
The next question.
Yes.
How soon after you get this are you going to be buying Minecraft for the Switch?
Oh my gosh. It's instant. Like, okay, that's going to be the game I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to build a tube. Let me go down this pipe. And there we are. So exciting. So
That's awesome.
I thought that was pretty good news because that's what he said. He's just like, I just don't play it very much. And he's like, well, you were wanting to get one because you wanted it for your daughter and stuff. And I'm like, really? That's the ruse. I want it for me. But
we'll just say it's for her.
For the kids. It's for the children,
kids.
of course.
For the kids. I mean, of course my daughter knows how to play Minecraft. No, I'm actually excited because of I feel bad when I play games with my daughter. Like I said, her hands are small.
Right.
And so it's really hard for her. Like, she loves playing Ghostbusters, but she just can't hold onto the joysticks as well as do the top buttons, your triggers and stuff. And so it's really hard for her to do this. But the Switch, it's just small, and it can just use one little, what are they? Joy-Con.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting. So I'm like, yeah, that'll be cool. So,
nice.
So I just wanted to bring that to you guys.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, we're excited.
I'm excited
awesome.
for you.
Oh, I'm gonna bring it over. We're gonna have to just play with it before the podcast one time.
Sweet.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's all the news, guys, and we do appreciate. Oh, yes.
I just remembered something
Uh-oh.
that we failed to talk about. I feel mostly blame comes to Wes.
Oh no. Why?
The new Surface Pro.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
It's basically the same as the 4, isn't it?
Except it has 165 degrees of travel in that kickstand now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, that's almost 15 degrees more than the last one.
It is cool. Yeah.
You don't think that's a lot.
It's
no.
amazing.
If you see them side by side, that's a lot.
It is.
Like, it's almost flat on the ground. But it's kind of like the Surface Studio where you can lay it almost flat and, like, draw comfortably. It looks really cool. And obviously it's got newer processors and stuff. Well, and disappointing thing, and I love this headline that I found, is the new Surface Pro proves that Microsoft hates USB-C.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, I get keeping legacy ports on there, but why not put a future-proof port on there also?
Yeah.
Like, to go with
Although,
them.
that being said, there's a new, I don't even know what the company, this product is the Eve V. And apparently Microsoft loves it because it's basically a Surface Pro with USB-C.
Yeah.
It's almost identical. It literally looks exactly like a Surface Pro, but it's got USB-A and USB-C ports.
I bet they're trying to push that hard. But just buy that. Just buy that.
Yeah, that's from what I understand. Microsoft is like, yeah, we like that. That's pretty cool.
And that's what they want to do. It seems like that's what they're trying to push for.
Obviously what they've done, but still.
I know that with the Surface Pro 4 too, they've actually come out with a new pen.
Yep.
And now with the Surface Pro 4,
well,
it's actually enhanced the pen use.
Yeah.
So you get better inking, better use of it. But you can use the pen on all the other Microsoft stuff, but you won't get as fast process, or what's the word, like inking as fast. So there's cool things there. I kind of was waiting.
It comes with the pen.
And yeah,
the pen is now $100, which is what the Apple Pencil is.
Oh, and it doesn't come with a clip.
What? But
a little clip to put it on.
Yeah,
so that's how you distinguish.
I understand why they don't why it doesn't come with the clip, because it magnetically attaches to the surface. But most people never did that.
And the funny thing was,
including yourself.
I think I listened to Paul Thurrott again. I was listening to him.
I listened to him,
and he was talking about it, and he's like, you don't really need it. You could literally pick up the whole thing with the pen of how strong the magnet is.
Yeah.
He's like, I literally picked it up, just holding the pen, and the whole thing just came up with it.
And that's something that the previous versions
did not.
You could not do. You put the pen on the surface, put it in a bag, and it's gone.
Yep. So yeah, I was kind of waiting on a little more reviews on that to see how well, but that was the main. That's why I didn't really mention it on this one. So,
but it is announced.
It is,
and it also comes with new type covers with the Alcantara.
Ooh,
crap that they put on there.
The carpet.
Yeah, I like that. The carpet.
Carpet.
Suede carpet.
That's what I think when they're all like, we went like, what was the video that they had on there too with the keyboards for the? It was so funny to watch. They're like, we went and like it's like we went to India and took this style and put it on the keyboard, so it feels so great. I'm like, it's a keyboard. And I'm going to spill something on it, so it's going to get stained. So thanks.
Yeah. It's like nice.
Nope, I got kids. My Diet Pepsi's just going to...
I'm going to get the cheaper one, and that's
right.
not the fancy carpet.
Yeah, the fancy carpet. Awesome. So there's that, too. I don't think... Unless anyone... Caleb, you got a surprise thing you want to talk about?
No, I don't.
All right. I don't either. So we're going to go...
We'll give more details on the Surface Pro as we get more, as more reviews come out.
That's
I just
what
wanted
was
to mention that it is now available.
It is. Pre-ordered, yada, yada. Anyway, so thank you all for listening, and go ahead and feel free to hit subscribe and just, tell someone else to hit subscribe for us, even if they don't want to listen. It just helps us. It's totally cool. Totally cool. But we do appreciate everyone that does listen, give us feedback, and we're going to continue this on. Now, like I said, the next few weeks, they are going to be pretty heavy on a lot of things that are coming out, so we will try and get things that we feel that need to be said, any opinions, and try and get the information to you guys as best as we can without dragging on to a 4 or 5 hour episode. We'll break it
No
up.
guarantees.
No guarantees. Little episodes. So we appreciate it. Thank you again, and we'll see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.